Hello, BookTube, and welcome back. I'm about to talk about a Baillie Gifford, so if you've seen the previous ones, you know this preamble. So I'm reviewing all of the Baillie Gifford long list of non-fiction. The Baillie Gifford is a book prize award for non-fiction that's been published within the UK between October and October, I think. They usually long list about 12 books, and they're usually quite solid books, and I try and read the entire long list before the shortlist gets announced, and then compare and contrast what I think should be on the shortlist compared to what the judges do. Unfortunately, I can't read the entire long list before the shortlist gets announced this year because one of the books is published the day the shortlist gets announced. So anyway, I think this is I'm doing back-to-back reviews, so this is books 9 and 10 of 12, so I'm nearly at the end. And the book here I'm going to talk about today is How to End a Story. This is the collected diaries of Helen Garner. Helen Garner is a famous Australian author. I believe her debut novel was The Monkey Grip, and she's written others like The Spare Room and The House... I'm brain farting. It's the house something I'll probably remember towards the end. And it's basically her collected diary, so it's in 3 collections, and the first collection is set in the late 70s all the way into the mid 1980s, and it's basically all about her becoming a published author from nothing and the success of The Monkey Grip. The second volume is basically all about her love affair with this new fella that she's absolutely head over heels with, and then which I think that's again from the mid 80s to the mid 90s. I think that's the biggest chunk of the 3 different sections, and then the last section is how her marriage disintegrated and how her husband was not being very upfront with what he was doing, and he's very controlling and a liar, and how she dealt with it, and then the eventual breakup. So that's the gist, and it's in diary format, so each will be like 1979, 1980, 1981, all the way up to 1998, I believe, and it'll just be different sections. Some of it will be a paragraph, some of it a page and a half, and some of it is a sentence, so it's like boom, boom, bam, boom, so it can, that's the problem I had with this, because I've never actually read a diary before, so the format kind of threw me off at sometimes, because I would be like, oh, I'm really enjoying this, and then boom, it would be a completely different subject, and then boom, 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 a load of things that I like, and then, so it's like listening to someone's well, it's reading someone's diary, so it's listening to someone's thought process or whatever they think. So she's literally talking about a husband. She's talking about quotes she's heard that she likes. She's talking about films. She talks about any random thing that she walked across during the day. So anything you probably get out of a diary, right? I'll do one more negative before, because this book is not a negative, folks. It is a really good, interesting read. I really personally enjoyed it. But another thing, apart from getting used to the format of reading a diary, that I kind of like, the names have been, the name of a husband and the person that he had an affair with and all the friends and all that, the names have been taken out and been assigned a letter. So it'll be, it'll be J, it'll be M, and it'll be V. And then when it's not being mentioned for a while, you're like, who's that one again? Who's Jay? So those two kind of things, it took me a wee while to get used to, But other than that, this is a really good look at someone who's being deeply honest. I mean, you don't really, sometimes you just don't get that, do you, from a well-known person. But honestly, God, this is complete. How she's trying to, especially the last part, the section 3 of her come to terms of her husband lying and being manipulative, and how she's getting over it. That is so, you plough through it because it's so gripping. She really is a good writer. And I mean, I said I couldn't. I found it difficult to get used to the diary kind of format in this. But towards the end, I was like, I want to read her fiction. So she is a really really great writer. So and some of the she's not only struggling to come to terms with things. And you're like, oh, this is hot. I feel really sorry for her. But in the next like short sentence, she could just come out with like a little quip. So like, she's incredibly witty and incredibly funny. So this is a very much a thumbs up from me for Helen Garner's diaries. And if you're interested in fiction authors, if you're interested in like a very personal, it's like a biography almost, isn't it? A diary. Pick this up, you won't put it down. It is a bit of a chunk, by the way. It is about 800 pages of a diary format, so bear that in mind. But it's still a great recommendation, and that's Helen Garner, How to End a Story.